Good morning, Coastal Bend. It's meteorologist Carly Smith. We've got your weather impact live video update starting here very shortly. Thank you for joining. If you're watching this at a later time, it'll still be relevant. This is the same background that I had yesterday, but still relevant. We're going to see our wave action pick up. So here's a look at those headlines for you. What we have is the wave action picks up. I really didn't change these because we're still focusing on these same things. There is a weak cold front dropping humidity this weekend. Sunshine is going to return, I promise. And then tropical moisture also makes a return next week. So right now out at our buoy, we've got wind out of the north at 20 miles per hour. So we've got some strong winds. Wave heights are about 6 feet out there every 7 seconds. So that's some pretty rough conditions for our part of the Gulf of Mexico. Low pressure, water temperature out at the buoy 86 degrees. Here's a look at your wave forecast. It's only going up, right? So 4 to 6 feet on Saturday. By Tuesday, we could be seeing up to 7-foot waves. We'll talk about why coming up in the full live update. Here's a look at the wind speeds. Now, while our waves pick up, our wind also picks up. So we're going to see the wind out of the north and northeast. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, gusts really could be 30 miles per hour. These are your sustained winds on the screen, but those gusts could be 30, 40 miles per hour through Sunday. Then we'll have to watch out for another peak in our gusts Tuesday into Wednesday. So this is your wave height forecast, showing it with the model data. We've got that low that's hanging out in the Gulf of Mexico. This low is one that we're going to be watching pretty closely. So Saturday into Sunday, it's going to be pushed south with a cold front, but it has a chance to sneak back to the north as we head into next week. And that's what we're going to be focusing on in this live weather update. Hey there, Coastal Bend. Meteorologist Carly Smith. Thank you so much for joining, all 44 of you right now. Yeah, there's not a lot going on in the forecast, especially for the weekend. We've got a really great weekend forecast, but something I do want to make sure you are aware of is the wind is a little stronger. So here's a look once again at our wind small craft advisory. That's until at least 7 p.m. on Saturday. We could see that extended not only time-wise, but also location-wise. We could see our bays, our local waterways added to that small craft advisory, especially on Saturday. Right now on this Friday, 79 degrees. We are going to see our temperatures warming up, 91 degrees there at 3 p.m. Wind will be out of the north, so it makes it feel actually rather nice outside with that northerly breeze. Our dew points aren't great, but they're not extreme. However, it still likely will feel like it's about 101. We still have a lot of moisture. That's why we have that stratus layer out there as well. This evening, if you're headed to Art Walk, high school football, whatever it is, watch out. We could see some gusts still around 25 miles per hour. Sunset 7:44, cloud coverage decreasing, and we will see temperatures in the 80s. Here's a look at your weekend forecast. Really fabulous. 93 on Saturday, but the front moves through. 90 on Sunday. More sunshine on Sunday. The northeast wind, though, is still gusting around 30 miles per hour. Our humidity is lower, so look at that low temperature. We could be, again, in the 60s for the first time since May 18th. On Futurecast, one of the reasons why Sunday is looking so nice is because a cold front is going to move through. Now, this front, not very strong, but it is going to drop our dew points. Notice that L, that low, that red circle hanging out in the Gulf. That is something we're keeping an eye on as well. We're going to talk about that in just a second. That is the same low that produced all the rainfall earlier this week. Notice the dew point could fall as much as 15 degrees, so that's a pretty nice front in my opinion. But moisture going back up. That does have to do with this tropical wave, which is Invest 90L in the tropics in the Gulf of Mexico. 10% chance of developing. Don't really expect this to develop. As it moves south, it's going to interact with wind shear, that wind that I was talking about in the Gulf of Mexico. Isn't going to be good for it. The cold front is what pushes it south. It may interact with that other tropical wave that we are keeping an eye on in the Caribbean that's going to possibly be in the Yucatan, Central America around Sunday as well. But one thing I want to point out is the energy associated with these systems could make a turn back to the north as high pressure strengthens there in the eastern Gulf of Mexico near Florida. And so the closer the system tracks toward Corpus Christi or Brownsville, the better for our rain forecast. The closer it tracks toward toward Houston, the less rain we will see. But right now, one thing I am certain on is we will be drier on Sunday, but then heading into Monday, but especially Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of next week, as that high builds, that's going to send tropical moisture back into the coastal bend. Regardless of development of any tropical system, we will see moisture returning, and our rain chances are expected to go back up. So we are looking at about a 40% chance of rain right now. That will increase as our confidence goes up on where exactly any center of low pressure may end up. Again, tropical depression, tropical storm, not really important, but the important part is our moisture content is going to raise. So you'll see here, there's that tropical system into Monday, that tropical wave. If it drifts closer to us, we'll see more rain, but this particular scenario, having it drift closer to Houston, which would be less rain for us. Regardless, it's going to be cloudy again next week, and our temperatures will likely stay in the 80s. Of course, Antonio, me too. That's a great comment. Always thankful for the day, regardless of the weather. We are going to see temperatures in the 90s over the weekend, but they're back in the 80s for highs thanks to the cloud coverage. Our normal high this time of year is 92 degrees. And we will see our lows below normal behind that cold front, but rain is back in the forecast next week. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. This is going to do it for your weather update. I'm meteorologist Carly Smith. Thanks for watching.